commonly used something, series of expressions.
Yeah, exactly. So over here you have inside the programming, okay, this is a regular expression. Okay? This regular expression simply says substitute any space globally. So you take a file, or you take a line or whatever, and any space that you find, over here I'm substituting it with what? With nothing. So what I'm doing there is I'm actually taking the spaces out. Okay? So that's one of them. This one I'm substituting inside the whole document, any CDS with nothing, pulling that out. So this program, basically what I do is I take some DNA, I go to the file and I go ahead and parse it and take data out and do stuff with the data. So one of the advantages of that is that, can you do this in Java or in any language? Yeah, you can. But with the regular expressions, it's a lot easier because that's already done for you. Okay. This one here, okay. What is this line here?
The RNA of
It substitutes tRNA with nothing.
With nothing. And the one with the G means everything on the whole document, okay? This one is for regular RNA. This one is for gene. So it goes, it looks, you see this, the backslash over here, and this one is exactly for Java, okay? So you need to take out this line here. So what you do is you put this guy here saying that this guy is actually the one you're looking for this, okay? So that's what this guy is doing. And that one, I lost it. Right here. So he's going and he's looking for a slash gene, and he's taking that out and he's changing it with nothing. So it's actually going from here to here, and he's looking for this guy here, and then he's replacing it with nothing there. And the same thing over here. Okay. And that's exactly what he has on the programs. Okay. So it looks like it's really complicated, but it's not. It's really easy. The thing is that we're not used to that. Okay. So I forgot what page it was, but it was on chapter 5. He's got some tables there, and there's a section there that I couldn't really understand what he was talking about, so I went and Googled it, and I got answers to that a little bit easier. Okay, so that was on page chapter 5, right? Okay, so he's got things like the zip code, how to go ahead and validate a zip code. So basically, there's a table over here on the left side on page 139, and he's got a period there, the very first line. So if you do it in a directory in regular Windows, right? And you go ahead and put dir period and hit enter, what happens there?
Error button.
Everything, right? So that one is exactly the same thing on the regular expression. If you do a regular expression with a period, it means anything. Okay? Then you have another one here called \d, right? And if you put in brackets, in the curly brackets, you put, let's say 3. This means to go ahead and get 3 digits. Actually, this is the same problem that we have with the printf. This is actually integers. Okay? 3 of them. There's another one here.
Are those supposed to be brackets, sir, after the D?
This guy here, yeah,
Brackets?
these are the curly brackets.
Oh, curly brackets,
Curly
not
brackets.
regular brackets?
No, those are, in this case, these are the curly brackets. If you want the regular square brackets, if you want to go ahead and remember the ASCII, for those that took the Java with me, the ASCII codes that we kept on hammering and hammering, right? So if you have something like this, this to that with square brackets, what is the meaning of this? Is that anything between this letter and this letter. And if you want to get the uppercases, then you put this one like this. Okay, so we'll do this to this and this to that. Right? So what happens if you have anything like this? From here to here. What will happen there?
No, it's uppercase?
Nothing. It will do nothing. Because if you look at the ASCII code, this one is prior to before this one. Okay? So that's why I was messing with this ASCII code, because sooner or later it's gonna bite you, okay?
So the Z carries a higher number than the.
Yeah, sure. All of the capital letters begin on what?
65.
Okay, 65. And what is the difference between the lower cases and the upper cases? 32. So this guy fixed the problem. He was telling you that he fixed the problem with the 24 because he remembered this. He remembered the difference between that and that, and 32. So he figured out that something totally unrelated, and he figured out that HP had a problem with it, adding the 24 there. Okay? So that's where ASCII comes in. So also, if you want numbers, you can go from 0 through 9. Okay, so that will mean that you can go ahead and look for all of the numbers from here to here, all of the letters from 0 to Z and from capital A to capital C. Or you can do this backwards, okay?
So don't you have to put a comma between?
Nope. I'm pretty sure you don't.
You didn't put a comma. Alright. Just checking.
What,
Yeah, no, there's no comma there, right?
what does the question mark mean?
The question mark, that's one of the things that I found, the way he has it over here, the way that I found in the internet, a little bit different. Because he's got question mark, and then he's got periods, and he's got this, right? On the book.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This doesn't show on
The
in
colon,
Java.
the colon doesn't show?
Right. So basically what it does is that anything that was prior to here, let's assume this right here, right? And then you have, right here, you have period, and according to him, you have that. It means to go ahead and anything that came out of here, put it right on top of it. That's exactly what it means. Also, he's got a section there, we've got a 1.
Yes.
Okay, that means that the first section here, grab that guy and put it with this 1X. And if he's got a 2, then you need to look for the second section and put it right with the 2X. And, or 3 or 4 or 5, okay? So regular expressions are not that bad. I mean, it's just commands that make your life a lot easier. Because if you try to program this, you can't. But it's gonna be a really royal pain. So passwords and things like that, okay? All right, so that was one. And that one is about 6, 7 pages or something like that. So he's talking then about something called mapping. You guys remember mapping from Java? No? So who do you take Java 1 and Java 2 with? Can't believe this. Okay. So this is gonna be another trick, okay? Everybody have heard about Google, right? Okay, so. Okay, so what happens is that about 5 years ago, Google released a paper of something called MapReduce. All right, so we lost this. Second one today. So it's called MapReduce. And by the way, anybody that wants to go into computer science, right now, MapReduce programmers, they start about 250,000. There's hardly anybody that knows how to do MapReduce, because it's too new, right? So MapReduce is what Google does. They use MapReduce. And so they released a paper about 4 or 5 years ago. Some graduate students that were doing research picked up the paper, read it, and rewrote the system. Not only he rewrote it, he made it twice as better as Google's, and then went to Yahoo, and Yahoo went ahead and funded him. And also Microsoft, we were to jump on top of the guy, and so they created something called Hadoop. And he called it Hadoop because his son had a dog, and the dog's name was Hadoop. Okay, so that's why he called it.